Okay, so let's talk about this London session. So going into the day, my bias is something like this. It's a little bit not complicated, just normal. First, you had this big fair value gap into this. Okay, so my idea is to see if we're respecting this. I can look to see go price higher most possibly into this high. But here we got another fair value gap, as you can see. So my idea was to see if we are having this fair value gap. If we respect, I can look to see displace lower. So both idea very close to each other, right? So my idea is to see if we are respecting this, we must need to break through this. But if we are respecting it, that kind of means that most possibly you're gonna come take out this sell side level, which means most likely this fair value gap gonna get broke. Okay, so this is the idea. So as we enter into this fair value gap, we were having a divergence. Okay, the first trade I took was here. So look at this, we were having a divergence and we had this massive push to the downside, and there is multiple op there is like multiple fair what they say, mm, is if you look at this, there is like multiple uh, POI you can see. Okay, there is like multiple POI, as you can see. 2 minute you got this, and then 3 minute you got this and this. So what I actually waited to see both these 3 minute get ran through, but there was a small mistake that I made. Was if you look at the 5 minute, there was another tiny fair value gap as well. These kind of tiny fair value gaps are very powerful, you know. So by the time I saw this 5 minute fair value gap that had not gone wrong, had not gone ran through, I was already in the trade. So I just said, okay, let's just accept the loss and see what happens. I was still seeing a little bit of divergence at the top. So I might thought if we were able to break through some form of level, like here in this 3 minute, if we were able to break through this fair value gap, then that can be, that can be a nice that can be something that can say like, okay, we can go push to the downside. So I just held on to this trade and it got stopped out. So I would say it's not it's okay, no problem. My small mistake was to not see, like, this fair value gap was so tiny, I just didn't saw it when I came into the 5 minute for once, but I didn't saw the 5 minute fair value gap back that time. But later when I came back after I entered into the position, I saw the 5 minute. I just knew that, okay, I have done something wrong, bro. I should have wait. I like this 5 minute had to close through, but it didn't. That means something wrong. Okay. Then we end up, respecting it and end up displacing higher for this high. So nothing I can do about. So by this time, I was looking to see, okay, this fair value gap get ran through. Now 1 hour need to close through this level. So by that time, I was thinking another perspective into this level was, if I see this 50, there's a 15 minute fair value gap. If this one get ran through, and if I can look to see as come retracement, come use it as an inverse and displace higher, I can see this is an early indication of this 1 hour to get ran through. Like, it's an understanding from the internal to understand what can possibly happen in the external, right? Like if I have a fair value gap here, and inside this I have another fair value gap of a lower time frame. Okay, so if I see that, okay, we are breaking through this and then use it as an inverse and displacing higher, this could be an early indication of this one getting ran through. Okay, but eventually you need to see that fair value gap get ran through. Okay, so for today, so I was waiting, so into the 1 minute time frame, we came back. I was waiting to see us use it as an inverse. By this time, this 1 hour was closed as well. So I had to look into the 5 minute perspective now. So if I look at the 5 minute perspective, we had this low that needs to be swept in order to consider the internal sweep and the proper market structure shift structures. But what ended up happening, we had this 5 minute fair value gap as well. Okay, so my idea was to see if I see, the fuck is wrong with this fucking asshole mouse. So if I see that as ran through this, my idea is to see us respect this and displace lower. sweep. But if I see as breaking through this, this could be an early indication that we might not come to take out the internal. We might go take out this high, go inside this 1 hour fair value gap. From there we might can come into this internal sweep or something. Okay, so my idea is to see, like, these are important. Yeah, and understanding the market through these internal levels to understand what can possibly happen or not. So simple idea, if break through this, I can look to see price go higher, but if it doesn't, then I can look to see price go lower. So my idea is to see, as we came into that, I would like to see the internal sweep. So I was trying to do something like this, that low got formed, we go higher, respect, we come take the internal. So I was trying to get a short during this internal manipulation. So I go into the 30-second, and as you can see, nothing happened. There was a divergence. There was a divergence going on. I look at the volume, but I see there is no volume came, and we'll just literally go push to the upside, and literally just there was this fair value gap got ran through, but there was divergence, fair value gap ran through, but I didn't see any volume coming into the price, because the volume should be coming if price really want to go push to the downside, because there by this time we should be starting seeing absorption, but there is like nothing. As I said, that this is this is the leg for the market structure shift, where you see manipulation. This is where you actually want to see internal sweep. That internal sweep should have a lots of volume, because this is there, there is this is where the absorption happen into the market. So one side gets pretty aggressive, but there was nothing like that. So by this time we had closed through the 5 minute. If I go look at the 5 minute, by this time, as you can see, the 5 minute was closed through. So my idea is to see, use it as an inverse and displace higher for this high. Came back. By the time we are seeing that, take it as an inverse or anything, we close through that again. So this what it means, that eventually we are respecting this level. Like, we push higher, and we had a we had this slow push to the upside, then we instantly close through that level again. That means this is something like this. We have a level, we push to the upside, we again come lower. Like, this was an one that told us this is getting disrespected, and then again we close through that, showing, okay, this must be respecting, and we can go push to the downside. Okay, so okay, now this is, and again the same thing, we close through this level again. So I would like to see us go back, tap it in, use it as an inverse, and come lower. Okay, same thing, no problem. This time we broke through that, thought of we should use it as an inverse and go higher. Sorry, we should use it as an inverse and go higher, but we broke through that level again. So I can look to see it's the same thing. Okay, I would like to see what here I was thinking to see something like this, didn't happen, but instead of that, we broke through that level. So my idea is to see that again, this is a fair value gap. I would like to see, use it as an inverse or something like that. So this is getting pretty much respected. So I'd like to see some form of something happen out of this level. We go back into this level again, and the same thing, shift in structure and everything. So this time, as you can see, we went back, swiped internal, we displaced through this range, we had this displacement to the downside, but it didn't have any volume. Okay, we were pretty close to have the volume. Like, I would definitely see that if there is an blue bar came, I would definitely take this. Come on, man, if we are breaking through this level, these two candle, at least one of them should have that volume, because these two are the ones who are breaking through this. Okay, then we just came back into this fair value gap, and it pretty much, so by this time my old idea of seeing that internal sweep is coming into play, because I am seeing that right now, that okay, we are finally respecting this area, as we are closing back in that level again. That is telling me, okay, this is the time we are going for this low. And as you can see, we tap back into right to the tick, and we have this push to the downside, and pretty much we are just now like selling off like shit. As you can see, we just literally sold off out of that level very aggressively. And after that, we have after we sold off quite a lot, then we started having the volume. Okay, so this is the same thing. You can see that volume, sometimes you can see the volume come later into the price. Okay, not when you actually see volume should come, it come quite a bit later into the price. We just pretty much now sold off like shit. as you can see. So I was trying to take that entry, but I really didn't saw a volume coming into the price, because this is volume what separates displacement from fake outs. Okay, so I have to see volume come into the market. Volume come, okay, and this in this area I don't see any volume came, and yeah, pretty much just really didn't saw any volume coming into the play. But later, if I can do something with this, so just let direct push to the downside. Once the volume started coming into the play, uh, started seeing volume here and displacing, and but this is like 210 and I'm out of the market. I'm down for the London session, so one loss. I shouldn't have that loss, because if I saw this fair value gap here that didn't got ran through, so I'd just wait for further confirmation, and by this time we'd be pushing higher already. 1 hour close, and by that time, after that, what end up happening, it would be end up happening the same way, uh but what am I supposed to say? But this trade was that a small tiny mistake, didn't saw that fair value gap, so end up losing the trade, because absolutely we should have seen this level. Beside these levels, that 5 minute also should have got broken through, like all of these levels combining that particular fair value gap, so that one should have broke. That was not getting broke through. That means there's something wrong, right? Hmm. It should be volume, but in that trade, that ended up playing pretty nice. Mm, that was this idea. We end up going for that low. So one of my 5 minute here. Swapped internal. This is where I was trying to take the trade of the divergence. Okay, we had heavy volume profile was also looking good, but that 5 minute didn't got broke through. That's a very bad thing. The level, okay, so for the divergence entry, the main rule of seeing a level get broken was not there, so I can consider that one as uh divergence entry. Divergence model, it's important to see a level get broken, but there was no level got broken, so how am I supposed to call that one as a divergence entry, right? So a small mistake, the fucking so damn fucking small, man. It's hard to detect open eye. So after that, everything worked out well. uh my idea was also not good, simple idea, no problem. Came back into that fair value gap. I definitely want to see use it as an inverse. Didn't got tapped in, went higher, broke through that fair value gap. Idea is to see us use it as an inverse and push higher. Didn't happen, broke through that again. So that means now I would like to see us go back into the level. uh, my model forms there and we displace lower. Model form displaced, there was not much of a volume, so Because of there was not much of a volume, I waited, and by that time we end up having this push, and by that time we also was pretty close to our like 5 6 minutes away from my closing time. So I just say, okay, let's call it a day, and we end up having this push to the downside, so we can do nothing. So nice day, nice session, no problem. Only tiny mistake was not to see this tiny little fair value gap that end up giving me the loss today, but that's all right. So let's see what you can do in the London, sorry, let's see what you can do in the New York AM session. Okay, that's it. Okay, so let's break down today's New York AM session trade. Took one trade and got stopped out as well, and pretty proudly saying that this is a valid loss. At least one in a lifetime I took a valid loss, that I have done everything right, and after that it price took me out. I'm feeling very good. So going into the day, it's right now here I see in the 1 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame. As I can see, this is the fair value gap. This is the 1 hour SSL got swept. We broke through that fair value gap. So my idea was to see that we are pretty much going for this high to be taken. Okay, this was my initial idea. So going to the 15 minute time frame, I saw this. My idea was to see that in that time when this 1 hour candle was still printing, like the 7:30 to 8:30 candle was still printing, I saw this low, this high. So my idea is to see that I have to break through this high to consider us to go higher. Simple as that. It's the internal level that needs to be broken for in order us to continue higher. Okay, simple as that. But so after that, what I see that we end up sweeping and displacing back into the range, that gave me an idea that we can come lower. Okay, where into this fair value gap. So if this fair value gap get ran through, I can look to see possibly price go lower, even lower, right? Maybe this low, depends on. As it breaks, I'm gonna see after that. If it nots, then I can look to see maybe this was just a retracement back into the place for us to go higher. Okay, so we came back into this fair value gap. My initial idea is to see if we are respecting it or not. Otherwise, this 15 minute has to close through this. So going into the 1 minute time frame here. So going into the 1 minute time frame here, we tapped in. Uh, we don't have any highs to break, so I won't consider this one as an internal sweep. So by this time we have an divergence into the price. With the delta and we have a bullish divergence into the price. Okay, by that time I'm seeing us breaking all the, now there is multiple fair value gaps. Gonna go to the 2 minute, 3 minute and 5 minute. This time I have closed nicely. There is nothing. 2 minute, you got this one and this one, both got ran through, and we have this 3 minute fair value gap. Okay, simple as that. Sorry, 2 minute fair value gap. So this time I'm gonna go into a lower time frame. I'm not gonna take the trade and put my stop. I'm gonna go into the lower time frame and check for a better entry. So what I did, I went to the 15-second time frame. So the 15-second time, the 15-second time frame. Let me just show it here. No problem. This 15-second time frame. What I see: internal sweep, and a high to be broken, and a high to be broken. High got broken. I have this displacement to the upside. Now this is not a big fair value gap displacement, but so you're measuring from here. So I see there's a nice medium size fair value gap and nice close candle. Second is volume. Okay, this is the structural perspective gone. Now the volume, I am seeing there is some nice green bar coming into the price. That means perfect volume. Okay, perfect volume. Checklist wise, volume checked, uh, profile checked, the displacement came out of a POC. uh, Context wise, there was a lots of there was this buying volume, as you can see, the lots of buying volume, right? Lots of buying volume. That's good. That's in contextual purpose. So everything was perfect, and I was aligning multiple time frames together. That means from that 15-minute time frame, remember, from that 15-minute time frame, divergence divergence was confirmed by the 2 minute fair value gaps get broken. Then 2 minute fair value gap got formed. We came back from there. I am seeing to take my entry for a more precise and perfect way. I did it, and I got stopped out. That's perfectly okay with me. Okay, I have no regrets, I have no problems. This was an external, sometimes this happens for manipulation. Like we go for a little bit lower into this price. Now this is a 2 minute fair value gap. Absolutely, there is nothing you can do. Pretty big one though. Yeah. So time frame wise, time frame according, maybe 30 seconds would be nice. Nah, it's all right, man. Nothing problematic, I see. Whatever. Everything is perfectly fine. Okay, like 2 minute to 15 second, 1 minute to 15 second, 5 minutes to 30 second time frame on it is nice. So you can just say you got manipulated for another hike as I'm seeing us displacing higher into our direction. So if this time I see that we hit our TP, then my idea was right, the way I was thinking was right, my bias got right, but I got manipulated. Okay, so that's a super fucking valid loss, a complete valid loss, and I am so happy to take thousands of losses like this, no problem. Okay, but the loss I did in the New York session, I'm not ready to take losses like that, where things get out of my eyes, and because of that, I lost. I don't follow my model, I lost. No, not this kind of losses. This kind of losses, as much as happen, no problem. I might find something new on the way, but not that kind of loss like the London session. Okay, like the London session, but losses like this are very nice. Okay, followed my model and everything. Bias, I followed complete bias. Patience wise, I waited. Divergence formed, broke through, I waited for further confirmation, and after I took the enter, and this time my model was also there. Volume checked, profile checked, displacement check. Now can I call it a displacement, proper displacement? Hard question. Let me just delete this one. Hmm. Look at this is the high that needs to be broken. Okay, now there is nothing question. We were kind of sweeping at the first, but later, as I see, we had nice volume above the price volume in these two candles, which broke through this high. So if you measure, if you understand, yeah, that was pretty much a nice move. If you see, right? What do you call it, displacement? That is a three candle displacement above this lie, and got a nice big fair value gap as well. So there's nothing problem. That's a perfect fair value gap. We came back, sweep, but what we do, we just sweep this low again for another time. So this is the dual manipulation model type of thing, like where you either like sometimes you're gonna see us like tap in, go for high, come back, sweep this too low and come. This was another type where you just instead of the sweep of the uh, instead of pulling back into this fair value gap, what do, you just go sweep all the way down here, and then you continue towards the target. And this is what exactly I do. This is what exactly I'm seeing. Now this happens rare cases, and in these cases you cannot do anything. You just need to accept the loss. That's why never go with 50% of your size at like more than 50-70% of size in a single trade. You take it, you got stopped out, and you see, okay, then you wait for confirmation that okay, you got manipulated, then you take the entry and you ride on it. Like let's, as we again came and displaced higher out of this level, then you could have take some trade out of this fair value gap, maybe put your stop here with the other position. By this time you're pretty much nice fucking profit, making out that loss and making also some profit. But I hit my daily loss limit today, and it's 8:44. Pretty much time is out. First thing is first is my daily loss limit is hit, so I'm just calling it a day. So valid loss in the New York game session, no problem. Nice.